Now,
There it goes. Okay.
so, now, when you were talking about the podcast, you were talking about what you wanted to do. So you can just look at the camera there. That way you're like you're talking to me.
Hi, me. Hello.
Okay. So this is Troy, and I'm Larry, and we are starting our own podcast. And we haven't figured out a name yet because Troy is from London, Ontario, and I am from Orlando, Florida.
This is true. London, Ontario, the place where the town motto is a great place to live.
Now, what is now we've been trying to figure out what we want the podcast to be about and what we think would be interesting to our audiences and what we think would be interesting to you and how we can help you. And, you know, we're in the business of service. What do you think, Troy?
Well, I've serviced enough people, so I should be in the business of service. But it was all for free.
Mm-hmm. Now, we are tuning in from downtown Toronto. And now, you know,
The
at
sixth.
Yeah.
The sixth.
Oh,
This.
Oh,
Yeah.
the sixth.
Yeah, the sixth.
Oh, that's great. Now, Troy, I've known Troy for how long?
Since the 1980s.
I've known Troy since the
It
1980s.
is true that. Back when sand was rock.
Mm-hmm. We survived AIDS. We survived SARS. We survived
Designing women.
the Golden Girls.
No, listen, that has nothing to survive. That is what I live for.
Now, what we really thought about when we first started about talking about doing the podcast, Troy was explaining to me that he was trying to do stand-up comedy at the beginning, and he didn't feel too comfortable about being in front of an audience of 8 people, and so.
Unless I'm naked.
Oh, okay. Unless you're naked.
Well, and everybody else is too. You know, that's the only way it works.
Now, I think that there's a good connection between me and Troy, and I think that our podcast is going to be fantastic as we travel around the world and talk to different people and just talk to you guys about our experiences as being. I'm just gay. I'm black and gay and proud of it.
I'm not gay. Just my mouth and my asshole is. The rest of me is still like, look how straight my arm is. That is so straight. You can't, you know. Over there. Yeah.
So now Troy was also explaining to me about his first time doing stand-up at his office party, and that
I got in a lot of trouble.
He got in a lot of trouble.
lot of trouble. Well, it wasn't stand-up. I roasted somebody. You know, they got their permission. Everything was okay. We developed parameters as I will and I won't talk about this. We will leave this out, your professionalism or lack of. We'll leave that out. And I offered to show them the script as it was evolving because I knew that it was super tawdry, that this was like, it was all sex related. Basically, it was a big fight between her twat and her asshole as to who the bigger hole was. And it turns out that 3 dicks don't beat a full house. And that her asshole actually came with its own Walmart greeter. Welcome to Bingham's. Thank you for coming. You know, but when it was all said and done, her boyfriend was so angry. He was yelling at me that I made her out to be like a total whore and a slut. And I said, well, half of that's your fault. I mean, you're why she's all stretched open.
oh well, hello.
You know.
I mean, when you think about life in general, comedy now is so touchy. Well, how do you think we're going to navigate our podcast with everything being so sensitive, and you know us being natural comedians and naturally, because the funniest things are unscripted and is what's real.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
we do real comedy. We do real life stories and real life jokes, stuff you can relate to. But how do you think we're going to navigate that, Troy?
Well, you know, you have to come up with a premise, keep it loose, and then you let it evolve. I try not to let too many things get out of the bag ahead of time because you want things to be sort of done on the spur of the moment.
The sperm of
The moment, just bing, 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 bing. Where it's unanticipated, so you sort of have a sense, and then it has to be fresh and raw. That's sort of that. I find that very helpful, and that's the key to making things really. Because when you're making yourself laugh, especially if you're not high, where everything makes you laugh. That's when you know you hit some good stuff. I'm just trying to make sure I get one chin here.
Oh, he's trying to get the chin.
Yeah, I should have
Well,
brought.
you
I
can
should have brought
always-
some tape.
Well, you can always move over. You know, I don't mind you being a little close.
Well, we did both shower today, so it might be okay.
Yeah, we might be all right. Now, we want you guys to tell us what is it that you would like to see from our podcast. What do you think? What do you guys want to add? Tell us what you want to see, what you want us to talk about, what you want us to do for you.
Well, do you want politics? Do you want comedy? Do you want a little bit of I don't know,
Love and romance.
Yeah,
Because you know we got stories to tell about the back
Oh,
rooms.
boy.
If you ever was in Toronto back in the days of Whiskey Saigon, you remember Whiskey Saigon?
I sure do. Yeah, on
Whiskey
Richmond Street.
Saigon, yep.
Yep.
And there used to be things happening in the basement of Whiskey Saigon. It was an amazing nightclub, but in that basement, you remember the white party and the underwear party?
Yes, I remember the underwear parties and the Wet and Wild.
Oh, yeah, the Wet n Wild.
The Wet and Wild party. That wasn't just down in the sex room. It was upstairs too. No, those were good times.
Those were the good times.
They were. I don't know what kind of good time the kids are having these days, but I know they didn't have the good time we had.
The kids have missed out on a lot.
They seem happy.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, you know, back in the days, we used to dance. We used to dance. I mean, we used to do a little bit of other stuff too, but we didn't used to let that consume us. But we used to have a balance.
Where we met at Comrades, there was a club that had a stainless steel dance floor, a mirrored. The entire wall was mirrored. You could teach yourself how to dance by watching. And there was a sort of a runway that ran along the whole length of the dance floor, and guys would stand along the wall. People would walk by, and you would blow on them if you thought that they were really cute to get their attention, and then you would blow on them afterwards as well.
Those were the days of Isabella Street was the most amazing scene for the gay world, for everybody.
It was the House of Lords across the street, the most unexpected confluence of people, because the Gasworks was also down the street. These rock and roll bars were around the queer clubs. It was Chaps and Comrades across from the House of Lords, and then just down the street it was the Gasworks and Cornelius
Baglands.
and the Manatee.
Oh, the Manatee.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now that was gone by the time I arrived in Toronto in 1986.
Remember we used to dance around the club Joy? Remember Joy?
I didn't really care for Joy. It was too there was too much drugs going on in there.
Yeah.
That wasn't my scene.
So, well, you know, now that we got your attention, we're gonna figure out what we're gonna call our podcast, because we really think that we have an amazing show idea for you guys out there, and we want you to be a part of our journey right here from downtown in Toronto. I'm Larry. This is Troy, and we're comedians, actors. I do drag.
I am not an actor. I'm a reactor. What?
No.
What?
Would?
No, not
Would
an
you
actor. No.
And like I said,
Although I wasn't Queer as Folk.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fun.
I wasn't queer. I was just a background actor, but I was naked for 3 scenes.
But we should try to get them on the show. We can always work that out down the road. We can try to see if the queer, the actors, are they all gay?
I don't know if many of them were. I think a few of them were. That can't be helped in that industry. But I think a lot of them were actually straight, which makes them a good actor.
Well, you know, Queer as Folk was really started here when we did the opening. Me, Terry Stevens, and I think it was Dale Barnett when we did the opening of Queer as Folk at Woody's.
Oh,
You remember
boy.
the opening of I think it was some song by Aretha Franklin we did, and then there's also Scott Thompson. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
have him on the show.
I just to back things up a little bit, and that's what gay people do best is back up. I accidentally slept with Dale Barnett
Oh my God.
at the Mutual Street bathhouse. I remember we're fooling around. We finished. We took a little bit of a break. We talked, and so I asked him what his name was, because you don't find that out until about 20 minutes or half an hour in or so. What's your name? He says Dale. I said, Dale what? and he says, Dale Etier. I was like, oh, thank God. He says, why? He says, I thought you were going to tell me you were that drag queen, Dale Barnett. He's like, it is. That's my stage name.
Oh.
I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
I gotta get out of here.
Oh my
Get
God.
out. I gotta go. I gotta run.
Oh. Yeah.
Dang.
It was fun. I stayed.
Well, Dale was an attractive man.
Yes, he was a cute guy.
He was a very attractive man, and I can see why. Hopefully, you had a good time.
We did have a good time.
We will miss Dale because Dale is in heaven.
Is he gone?
Dale is in heaven.
All right. Dale, I only speak highly of you.
Yeah, he's in heaven, and like I said, it'd be great to have some of the Torontonians on. We could talk to George. What's his name? George Topolopoulos.
Snuffleupagus?
Topolopoulos. He's gonna kill us for that. But anyway.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, I guess the first time he's heard that.
Yeah. Oh. Well, it would be great to have him on the show. Also, me and Troy, we really want to have a diverse audience, but we really want to bring on some of your favorites here in Toronto and as we travel around the world. Like I said, I'm from Florida, so I know a lot of the pageant queens in Fort Lauderdale and Miami. And Troy here has a lot to offer from London, Ontario.
Yeah, you know, surprisingly so for a mediocre town, and you know, it would be considered a village in China.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not even that. Like, especially at the time that I left, it wasn't even 200,000 people. I think I left just because I ran out of people to sleep with. I had to go somewhere else.
Hello. Well, like I said, we're going to work on the podcast, and hopefully you guys will tune in and check us out and see what we're doing. Like I said, I'm Larry, and this is Troy.
I'm Troy.
And
Yeah.
we'll give you a little bit more of our names and our history and what we're all about.
I'm not giving them any more of my name.
Oh.
Listen, you tell them all you want, but I'm just sticking with that for now.
Okay, well, yeah, we're going to stick
Okay,
with that
okay.
for now, because that's all y'all need to know, because most of y'all are nosy out there. And anyway, we know who you are, and we know where you live, okay? Toronto's a big city, but a small community. We know where y'all live. Well, anyway, until next time, my friends, like I said, I'm Larry, and I am from Orlando, Florida, and this is Troy from London, Ontario. And we're going to be doing an amazing podcast for y'all. And hopefully you guys will watch.
You better.
You think they're going to watch, Troy? You better watch our podcast.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.